G'day everyone, welcome back. Hope you're doing well, hope you're having a nice day. It's Friday here in Queensland, Australia, and I've got another food pantry haul to share with you all. This is a $10 food pantry run by a local church in our area. It's one that anybody in the local community is able to go along to, anyone that needs a helping hand. How it works is you pay your $10 and they note down how many adults and how many kids are in your household. And then you get given a box of grocery items. You can't pick or choose what goes into the box of grocery items, but they do usually have several boxes already prepared, set out on a table, so you can sort of choose between a few boxes. It doesn't usually vary that much. Sometimes there might be different cereals in the different boxes or a couple different items, but most times they're pretty much the same. And once you've got your box of grocery items, they then also give you usually a couple cold items and always a loaf of bread. And there's also usually a selection of fruit and veggies depending on what's been donated and what's available at the time. So I'll give you a closer look at what I was so lucky to get this week. There's some real great stuff again this week. Firstly, in the grocery box, I got some fettuccine this week, which is nice. We don't often get fettuccine, and we quite like fettuccine in our family here, so that was awesome to get. There's some rice crackers, original flavour ones. These will probably just be eaten as a snack over the weekend, I think. And there's some chocolate cream biscuits, which I'll probably hold aside for the kids' lunch boxes. And there's also some cookies and cream biscuits. These are a bit like Oreos, I think. I think these might be an Aldi brand, so I'm sure everyone will love those. And in the box of grocery items today, there was also a packet of cheddar cheese thins chips, which will be delicious, I'm sure. The kids will really like those. And something a little different this week in the box was a packet of this LSA mixture. It's linseed, sunflower and almond meal ground up. And I think I'll probably end up using this sprinkled on top of porridge or mixed through like breakfast oats. I think that would be an easy way to use it and a great way to get all the health benefits as well. Let me know, what would you do with some LSA mixture? Maybe I could even put it into some sort of like muffin or cake perhaps. And there was also some 2-minute chicken noodles. And I also got given this week a couple different soups to try. There's plant proteins, creamy coconut pumpkin and chickpea soup, which sounds really good. And there's another one here, a Mexican style one as well, corn and black bean soup with sweet potato and coriander. So those sound really interesting, sound really nice. So they'll be handy to put in the pantry and just pull out when I want an easy meal for probably a couple of us. We might have to use both of them at once, I think, to feed everyone. But I think if I was to serve it with a bit of rice, it might stretch it out a bit further. So they were great to get. Then in the canned items, I got 2 little cans of baked beans this week. And one of my favourites here, some 4-bean mix as well, which is great to get. I like to make a 4-bean pasta salad sometimes with this. If you haven't seen my video where I make the pasta salad, I'll link it up above for you so you can see how I do that. There was also a jar of Vegemite, which is great to get. We love our Vegemite. Some Italian diced tomatoes. And also over the back here, there's a jar of traditional tomato pasta sauce, which is fantastic. Very helpful to get that. There's a can of corn kernels, sweet and juicy. And some pineapple rings as well, or pineapple slices they call it. So that was all the canned items. And this week they had some different drinks where you could take some different cans of drink. And I picked up a Kirk's Mixer lime and soda, which sounds really nice. And then there was also these are Japanese coffees, iced double espresso with a dash of milk, which sounds really good. Some Boss coffees. So there's 4 of those that I was lucky to get, and they'll probably help me stay awake to edit some videos at night, I think. So that was great. And you'll see here in the cold items, we got given a plant-based vegetable tikka masala, which sounds really interesting. And just to show you, it looks a little bit like this. Of course, it needs to be heated up in the microwave. So it's got rice and the actual sauce bit to go with it. And this one here is a lentil spaghetti bolognese, which we got one of these a few weeks ago, and this was delicious actually. So that was so nice to get both of those frozen meals. They'll come in real handy. And there was also, as well as those ready meals, some frozen beef mince I got given this week. I think it's probably about 1/2 kilogram, so that'll be really useful. And I also got given 2 bags with 2 lots of sausage rolls in it, which is donated from a local bakery in the area. And there was, lastly, in the cold items, a big bag of vegetable tagine, which sounds really interesting again. This one's got like chickpeas, it says, and fava beans, along with a whole heap of veggies. And I think it's like tomato passata, so it's like a tomato curry powder. Interesting spices in it too, cinnamon, clove, turmeric, along with sweet potato too, and a bit of cayenne pepper and garlic. So that's going to be really interesting to try. It looks a little bit like that. It's a big slab of it. So that will probably do a couple meals, I think. There's a fair bit there. So that was great to get as well. The bread for this week was some of this lovely white sliced bread. The kids will love that. That's one of their favourites. And the cereal is a box of Weet-Bix. And the milk this week is some almond milk. It's unsweetened variety. There's 2 1-litre bottles I got given. And I also got given some Sept's natural mineral water this week as well. So that'll be a nice one to put in the fridge for a refreshing drink. There was also a couple of rolls of toilet paper, always handy to get. And I did also get another whole pumpkin this week. Pumpkin is definitely still in season here in Queensland. So that's why you've seen probably a fair bit of pumpkin in my recent food pantry hauls. But not that I'm complaining. I actually really love pumpkin. So much you can do with it. And these ones, when they're whole, when you haven't cut them, they store really well and they keep for weeks and weeks, sometimes even up to a few months if you're lucky. So that was great to get. Then there was also a little bag of, it's hard to see through the plastic, but it's curly leaf parsley. And I got some nice washed potatoes. There's 6 beautiful washed potatoes and about 6 nice ripe tomatoes. And this week I also got given some mulberries, which is so nice. I love mulberries. Someone local has donated these mulberries to the food pantry this week, which is so nice. If you've been watching my videos, you would have seen I do have a young mulberry tree in our garden, and it's got its first real crop of mulberries this year, which is really exciting. But to get some of these today is just so nice as well. So these ones I think I might actually put in a smoothie is what I'll probably do. Blend them up with some bananas, or I may even just pop them in the freezer and add them to some of my own mulberries to make some mulberry jam with. We'll see. What would you do with the mulberries? They're really delicious. And I got 6 carrots. There was quite a few apples. I think there was about 14 apples I counted all up, which will be really helpful. And there's also about 7 mandarins and about 5 brown onions as well. So that's everything now I was so fortunate to get this week, which is an amazing help. It really does make a huge difference to get what we do. And remember too, if you need a helping hand at the moment, not to be embarrassed or ashamed to go along to a local food bank or food pantry if there's one available in your area. If you're not sure what's out there and you're looking for a place, down in my description box I have left some links where you can put in a postcode or a zip code and hopefully look up and find something nearby to you. So please have a look down there. I hope it helps. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope you have a nice weekend. And until next time, take care.